Welcome back for another episode of The Real Cinema Show. My name is Rob,
I'm Devin.
and on the show we talk about, well, you tell them what we talk about, Devin.
We talk about movies, movie trailers, and movies playing theaters this week and in the coming weeks.
Exactly. So we're going to get on with our normal schedule and go into our weekend recap. Because we saw a movie, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
What movie was that, Devin?
A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet.
Yep.
He was pretty good in it, I thought.
Yeah.
Also, he had a good supporting cast around him. Monica Barbaro, Ellie Fanning, Edward Norton. They all had good little roles, I thought, when they kind of dipped in and out of the movie at times, it felt like.
Yep.
I thought Edward Norton was a great mentor to him. Throughout early on, how he met, I think Andy Guthrie was his name, right? At the hospital. I knew his Guthrie was his last name, right? Or
I don't remember now.
that's how well we paid attention. But no, I thought he did a good job playing the part. As Monica Barbaro's character said, Joanne Baez, that she plays in the trailer and in the movie, you're kind of an asshole, Bob. Like, it's a pretty accurate representation of what he is. He wasn't difficult to work with and get along with for the most part, unless you really knew him and got close with him, which, as I read about afterwards, that's kind of how it was. Like, only good to a few people in his life. Otherwise, you really didn't know much about him, it felt like.
Yeah, so the title kind of makes sense, A Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
You know, it's this guy, he's a mystery and shows up to town, and it's kind of like he created his own background.
Yeah.
Like, no one really knows, about him too much. What I thought was interesting, that this movie really didn't have a plot. It's kind of just like we're following his younger years. And this movie was based on a book. I think the book was called Going Electric.
Okay.
And that's what the movie was going to be called. Or at least that's what the working title, I think, was Going Electric. So that's basically what this movie is. It's Bob Dylan. It follows Bob Dylan from becoming a folk singer to transitioning into, the electric
Music
guitar.
Yeah.
So like rock. So becoming a rock star. I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I knew about that story because I've listened to Bob Dylan. I know some of the history, and it was nice to see that. It was cool.
Yeah, I looked up beforehand. James Mangold, the director of this, who directed other great movies like Ford vs. Ferrari, and some other big hits, said this isn't supposed to be like a like-for-like factual biopic of his entire life or early life. Yep. They take some creative liberties, but in terms of his messy love life, in terms of that transition and has his early life with folk music, and meeting his hero at the time in the hospital, that's all pretty accurate. So it still did a good job at times showing who Bob Dylan was, because I didn't really know about him. So I still enjoyed it and thought it was a fairly solid movie.
Yeah, I would say that although I enjoyed the whole movie, was a little too long. I felt at 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think that there was a couple music scenes that kind of repeated themselves.
Okay.
But I did like everything that was happening. So it's like, what do you cut?
Yeah.
And I did think that who is the actress that you mentioned who played Joan Baez?
Monica Barbaro.
Yeah, I thought her chemistry with him was great.
Yes.
Like you kind of felt like her performance was like bursting through the screen. So.
Yeah, she was great in, as well as Ellie Fanning and
Elle Fanning was great too. Yeah. Edward Norton, like as you said, I liked his little music number towards the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
When he was getting Bob, out there into the public scene. Yeah, it was just cool to see. It was a different role from Edward Norton.
Yeah, his kind of that very nice folk dad kind of role he was playing, and then he gives a speech towards the end of this movie to Bob.
Yeah. About
turning the tides in this great metaphor involving a seesaw.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really well done. I really enjoyed that speech. I was like, oh, that's a very interesting way, as he could see where Bob was heading and trying to convince him of what he should do with his own career and where to take it and help folk music.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, pretty cool to see as well. A little speech.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
James
Mangold.
James Mangold. From what I could tell, he hasn't made a bad movie.
Yeah, I forget all the other movies besides Ford vs. Ferrari, but they're all...
Logan.
Logan, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that was his His last one was The Dial of Destiny.
That one.
That one I actually didn't see. So
it's okay up to a certain point. It starts off really good. All the flashback scenes with the younger Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
With the whole premise where it goes to, and at third act is pretty stupid, but
okay.
it starts off pretty good. So it's part of it's a good movie.
All right.
Yeah.
So all right, that wraps up with what we saw. We only saw one movie.
Yeah.
Not much came out, and that movie was actually a movie we caught up on because that movie came out on Christmas.
Yes, that's true.
So let's move into our trailers of the week.
One really quick. What do you rate the movie?
Oh yeah. I would give the movie. I would say it's an 8.
That's what I say too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an 8. It didn't blow me away. Like I heard a lot of people saying really good things about it. That's why I kind of was like, all right, let me force myself to go see it. The only one person who gave me like a negative review said like kind of how you said earlier is like it's just following his life. It's not like it's got a whole big plot. It's kind of leads up to when you watch the movie, but like you don't feel that as you're watching it throughout. If that makes sense. Where it's, well, this is where we're gonna go. It's just it kind of happens. So I think it's a solid 8, and it's still worth it for people to see it because everyone was around me that like was watching in the theater. I noticed were like all like baby boomers or older people who grew up with his music.
Yeah.
And they were all like pretty excited by the end. I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny seeing like the different demographics with each movie. Like, okay, yeah, all these people are this is the Bob Dylan demographic I'm with. Like, I'm the only person that under like 50 in there probably.
Yeah, it makes sense. A couple people at work, they were like, "Oh, did you see this movie yet? Complete Unknown." I'm like, "No, not yet." And it was older people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Would you recommend people see it or pass?
I would say that your enjoyment of the movie is a little bit more if you like Bob Dylan's music.
100%.
Which I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to sing along to some of the songs.
Yeah.
But I think if you don't know him, you can get something out of it.
I agree. That's how I felt. Like I got something out of it, and it's funny because I heard a person 2 seats over to me during the movie. He kind of started singing along, like very briefly. He would only say a few words when each song happened, which I thought was kind of fun. Like it was not like something that was annoying, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like he's someone really enjoying the movie and the music.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we recommend seeing A Complete Unknown.
Yes.
All right. Trailers of the week. We have 3 of them. All right. A U.S. Marshal boards a small plane to transfer a government witness to New York. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tensions rise as not everyone on the flight is who they appear to be. This movie is Flight Risk, coming out January 24th. What did you think of the trailer?
At first, the first 30 seconds, at least, if not more, this trailer felt like a complete just recut of the original trailer that we've already seen like a million times.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a movie, I see this trailer and I'm just like, please stop. This is just, I'm suffering now. Eventually, they show new footage and, it looks fine. It really doesn't look like it's going to be that special of a movie. Just plain fight for your life. That looks like it's going to go so far over the top. Nothing special in my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I saw the first trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then this trailer kind of, it piqued my interest.
Oh, okay.
As a filmmaker myself,
mm-hmm.
I like the idea that, they're using one location to tell a whole feature length story.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? Yeah, I think I might see this.
Okay.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg, it's kind of funny because he said he regretted being in Boogie Nights because he became like a born again Christian or whatever. And then for him to be in this, it's like, wait, what? So I just thought that was kind of funny, but yeah.
Interesting transition. Yeah. I think they said they keep advertising the director of this movie did Hacksaw Ridge, Apocalypto.
Yeah, it's funny how they're refusing to put his name in the trailer because Mel Gibson.
Oh. I didn't okay, that makes sense now. I didn't connect that.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of baggage there.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Hacksaw Ridge, that was a pretty good true story movie. Didn't see the other ones that they're advertising.
Yeah.
But, this might be halfway decent at best, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be the movie of the year, but
No.
it looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next. Oh, wait. Are we seeing it or are we passing?
I probably will be forced to see it, but I'd rather pass on this if I had a choice, I think. What about you? You're seeing it, you think?
If it's a weight scale,
Yeah.
I'm more on the side of seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. A buoy and a satellite meet online long after humanity's extinction. As they learn what life was like on Earth, they discover themselves and what it means to be alive and in love. This movie is called Love Me, coming out January 31st. What do you think of this trailer?
So, as the trailer advertises multiple times with how they show reviews, I thought those reviews encapsulate the trailer and what this movie looks like perfectly. Like a story about humanity, what it means to live and live life to the fullest, and everything that comes with it to an extent. It's so weird, it might be somewhat decent, Kristen Stewart and Steven Yeun in it, so it's a weird premise, but are they like, as this trailer happens, are they like creating a virtual life for themselves? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, so in order for them to hang out, they need to like create themselves virtually to like meet in a virtual world.
Okay, so
and from what it seems like is that they came across a YouTube video of two people, and then they like mimicked how those two people looked and copied themselves as them, or at least that's what it came off to me. I'm torn on this trailer because I feel like the movie's gonna fall on one side of the spectrum. It's either going to be really dumb or really great. I don't know if there's gonna be a middle.
Interesting.
You know
what? One thing that gives me like sign for caution with this movie. Okay, so it comes out in less than a month, and they just released their first trailer. That's normally a bad sign in my book when you basically just released your first trailer with only 3 weeks out, maybe a little bit more. Where I'm like, okay, you don't have much faith. Like, I heard of the movie before in the synopsis, and now you're just showing me footage. Like, obviously, this is low budget for the most part. Like, there's a little bit of digital in it, but like, I have no idea. It's original, so props to Hollywood. They made an original movie, but to where it'll go, who knows with this one.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The early reviews, I don't know how people have seen this or whatnot, but the early reviews aren't good.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if maybe because it did premiere at Sundance, so maybe these people are like...
The critics, early critics.
Yeah. But, are you seeing it? Does this make you want to see it?
This doesn't make me want to see it, but I think I might be open to giving it a chance.
Okay.
So I think I'll see just to see something different.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like, I don't know, like I'm 50-50 on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Depending upon word of mouth as the movie releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'll make my decision, I guess.
Critics are not always right. They could have very different opinion from audience. So
very true.
So it might be halfway decent. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Our last trailer of the week. A mercenary takes on a job of tracking down a target on a plane, but must protect her. Wait, what? Hold on.
What's happened here?
A mercenary takes on the job of tracking down a target on a plane, but must protect her when they're surrounded by people trying to kill them both.
Okay.
Let me just say something real quick. So this movie is from the creators of John Wick, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like every movie now it's either John Wick or it's Marvel. What? Some iteration of John Wick where some character, he's in a situation and everyone's a killer and they all have to kill each other, or it's a crazy like big budget movie with superheroes.
When it comes to the low budget movies, which I think even the first John Wick might have been to an extent,
it is.
Okay. Yeah. And these kind of movies, like you're saying, that aren't the Marvel ones, but the low ones.
Yeah.
Everyone's, I think, trying to catch that like lightning in a bottle, especially with that first John Wick movie, which it did and caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
So everyone's just, you're throwing something at the wall and hoping one sticks, and then you ride that wave to a franchise like John Wick did.
Yeah, but I don't get that logic, because it's like, oh, are we gonna have all like 10 different John Wicks? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, if
like
it's
10 different franchises where through this guy is an assassin,
Well, if it's low budget and one of these hits, then it can be a great success. That's what a lot of horror movies are nowadays, right? Low budget, and then they can hit for big returns because they're not a high risk. That's the problem with the mid-budget movie. What mid-budget movie is going to make a lot of money? Like No Hard Feelings was like a $60 to $90 million movie. That's mid-budget. I don't think it, made its money back. That's where I think this is kind of, that's what all of these action movies are. You hope one of them becomes a big hit and it makes $200 million or even $150 off a $10 to $50 million budget. So I think that's what they're going for.
Regardless, it just looks like the same thing over and over and over and over again. Just copy and paste. New actors, the action guy, and he's in a small area and 10 people. He has to fight 10 people at once. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I saw that last week, and then next week there's gonna be another one coming out. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, yeah. It started off good and looked like it had interesting potential to me at least.
Yeah.
And then got to the point where like, oh, we got a machine gun on the plane, we got everything, and they're like, how is this plane not completely going down immediately? Like,
yeah,
with all the bullet holes that should be in it.
Yeah, whoever fired that gun, complete idiot.
I was like, I was like, at the second half of the trailer went on, I was like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, and the movie's supposed to be ridiculous and over the top. Yeah. I get that, but it's like, I don't know. I'm getting tired of these like John Wick ripoffs.
Yeah, I think I'd pass on this unless it's got good reviews. I think that's what I'd kind of wait on for my sake.
Who's the actor?
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett. I liked him in the Shyamalan movie, Trap.
Okay. Oh, you saw that?
I saw Trap.
Okay.
I liked him in Trap.
Okay, yeah, he was good in it.
Yeah. And Trap was what it was, but...
Yeah.
He was good in it.
So you're passing?
I'm going to pass, yeah.
I'll hold off until reviews come out to decide me one way or another, I think.
Okay. So, we're going to talk about our most anticipated movies of the year.
Yes.
Right? Last episode... we talked about what our favorite movies of the year were. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to look ahead, to really 2025 this year. Talk about what we're excited about. Obviously, with my favorite movies of the last year's list, mm-hmm. most of those movies weren't even in my anticipated movie list.
Yeah, I think. Okay.
Just because, so many things change. Mm-hmm. The release schedules shift. And then things that you were never expecting that just weren't even on your radar pop in and they blow your mind, and then all of a sudden it's your number one film of the year, right?
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah.
That these are movies that I'm excited for, but I'm sure there's going to be 100 more movies that are going to be just as good and, that, I just don't really know about. So I'm going to go, do you have your 5?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a few that I didn't write down, but I remember some. Yeah.
All right. What are your honorable mentions?
All right. First, I got Fantastic Four. Marvel's reboot now that they finally have it after 3 movies that didn't have any great big success.
Yep.
So looking forward to that one in the summer. Predator Badlands, which is not a direct sequel to Prey, but another one that they kind of filmed under the radar. So looking forward to the potential of that. Tron Ares. First Tron movie in 15 years, the third one. So
yeah,
I think those are the 3. There was one other one I can't remember, but those are the 3 in the honorable mentions list for me.
All right, cool. So we're gonna list our top 5.
Yeah.
These aren't with too much thought. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't put them in numerical order. Like I'm not gonna go from 5 to 1.
Okay.
But the movies that I'm excited about. First is The Monkey.
Oh, okay.
Osgood Perkins, he knocked it out of the park with Longlegs. And the trailer of this movie looks like it's going to bring the chaos and the fun and just mix it all together. So I'm excited to see The Monkey.
Okay.
Do you want me to list all of mine, or do you want to back and forth?
I think back and forth.
All right, cool.
Quickly before I say my 5th one, I remembered one more honorable mention.
Sure.
Avatar Fire and Ash. James Cameron, the other two he's made, both over $2 billion
Yeah.
in Elite Club, so got to mention that one, of course.
Cool.
But at number 5 for me, mine's actually in order of 5 to 1. Number 5, Jurassic World Rebirth. I didn't think I'd put this on my list, but starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. Good cast with Gareth Edwards directing this one, who did Rogue One and The Creator.
Yep.
So he's worked in big scale movies before, as well as made the Godzilla movie. And as we talked about multiple times, David Kopech wrote this one, writer of the first 2 Jurassics, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and the first Mission Impossible. So, looking forward to it. It's got some optimism for this one, I think.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Another one on my list is Mickey 17.
Okay, yeah.
Parasite won Best Picture that year. Bong Joon-ho comes back to direct this with Robert Pattinson. The trailer, just like The Monkey, it just looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks chaotic, and that's really it.
Okay.
Great director, great actor, fun.
All right.
Bring it on. It's going to have, themes of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just it's gonna have themes of how you should spend your life, I think.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because this character in this trailer is dying one after another. Just he's dying, no purpose in life. He signed up to just be an expendable.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna learn something on the way. And I'm excited to see what that is.
It does have some pretty good fun moments in that trailer with his hand getting chopped off right at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. My number 4 for me is F1, the new racing movie starring Brad Pitt. They're made by the team that made Top Gun Maverick. Same director, Joe Kosinski. Same producer, Jerry Bruckheimer. And same cinematographer as Top Gun Maverick, Claudio Miranda. So all those things, they actually got in F1 cars. I don't think Brad Pitt drove 200 miles per hour, but he drove a modified F2. Lewis Hamilton, an actual F1 racer.
Yeah.
Is an advisor on the movie to ensure film accuracy, and he's also making his acting debut in this movie.
That's cool.
So they built new specific cameras to go in these cars to put you in the actual, racer seat of a F1 car. Yeah. And, to basically it's racing in Top Gun Maverick style. So I think it'll be pretty cool to see in Dolby or even 40X this year. And it looks like it'd be pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, on to my number 3. This movie, the trailer didn't excite me. The poster didn't excite me. But I have all the faith in the world in Leigh Whannell. It's Wolfman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, whatever. I don't care. Whoever did the trailer, that's the marketing team.
Yeah.
That's not the director.
Mm-hmm.
When I sit down in the theater, I know I'll be excited. And that comes out January 17th. So...
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Next week.
It looks solid, and he did the Invisible Man too, right?
He did Invisible Man. He did Upgrade. He's done Saw. He acted in the Conjuring movies.
Oh, okay.
He's done a lot. So
yeah, and I really enjoyed the Invisible Man. I thought that was a fantastic one. So if it's anything as good as that, I think I'll be looking forward to seeing that one as well.
Yep.
All right.
What about you?
My number 3, Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff starring Ana de Armas.
Yep.
I love both trailers, even though the second one was really a behind the scenes of the action of it. I thought great throughout. All the John Wick characters that they're bringing back with, John Wick, of course, Lance Reddick, and I think his final appearance in anything. Winston, all of them great to... Yeah. Was Winston in the trailers? I don't remember for sure, but...
I think he was.
I think he's either in them or he's confirmed to return. The scene with the flamethrower, she's fighting a flamethrower with a fire extinguisher, it all looked great.
Yep.
I'm really excited for this movie. I've been excited for it for over a year, even before the first trailer came out for this one.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
The next one on my list is Sinners.
Okay.
Maybe vampire movie, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan. I don't really know much about this movie other than that the trailer looked pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with all of these movies, it's like I pick the director that I like, an actor that I like, cool, they're together, I want to see that. And that's literally the main reason I want to see this.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's in this, and he's done, I think, every movie with Ryan Coogler, right? or been with him for
Yeah,
most of them.
was he in the last? Was he in the last Black Panther movie?
Spoiler, but he wasn't in a little bit.
It's not a spoiler. The movie came out years ago.
Yeah. Yes, he had a brief moment in it.
Okay.
But
so he was in every Ryan Coogler movie.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler is great in what I've seen him direct. That was on my kind of extended shortlist. Sinners. I thought that was pretty good too. I just need to see more of it to be more excited for it. I thought.
Yeah.
My number 2 though, Superman. First Superman movie in 12 years. The start of the new DC universe, written and directed by James Gunn.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw Man of Steel, I saw it, I think, in Hollywood at the premiere. I was there. Oh, so it was pretty cool. Looking for, an awesome time. Love the first trailer.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing more of it. Pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, the trailer looks fun. Looks like it's going to be a lighthearted take on the Superman story.
Going back to that. It looks like it's going back to that Christopher Reeves feel, which I never saw, but anyone I've heard talk about it, it just kind of looks and sounds like it's going back in that direction.
Yeah.
And having Crypto in live action, he looks awesome in it.
Yeah, I agree. The dog looks
Crypto
cute.
the dog.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So, but my number 1 film, and this is actually in order.
Okay.
Is the untitled Paul Thomas Anderson film coming out August 8th.
Oh, okay.
Paul Thomas Anderson is my favorite director.
Mm-hmm.
And there's rumors about what this movie is, but I'm not going to go into that. But it's starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Paul Thomas Anderson, Leonardo DiCaprio. There's a theme with all of my choices here, right? Director, actor, together, excitement, right? And you bring the best actor, one of the best actors, one of the best directors. Yeah, it's a recipe for success.
No, you don't want to talk about any rumor what the genre is even supposed to be of this movie, or any idea what it's supposed to happen?
No, because it's based on it's supposed to be a new representation, or a modern representation of this book called Vineland.
Okay.
That's the rumor. I don't even know if that's true. And I don't know what Vineland is.
Okay.
So it's like, why would I even talk about it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Gotcha. All right. Number 1 for me, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. My favorite action franchise, and possibly the final one in the franchise. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
The stunts look crazy. The biplane stunt.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out, I didn't realize it in all the times I watched the trailer. In the first scene you see of Tom on holding onto a biplane, it's on a red one or a yellow one. And the second time, he's holding onto a biplane of a different color. So I don't know if he's supposed to, fall onto another one or get to another one somehow. But, I was kind of an interesting observation. I was like, oh, okay, he's might be doing some crazy stuff in this one.
All real, baby.
Some of the behind this, people just taking photos of them when they do it, it's like, what is he doing? That looks nuts. The underwater sequences look insane as well. They've started to show a little behind-the-scenes footage of it.
Yeah.
All the making and work that goes into making those sequences possible. All the effort. It looks insane. Simon Pegg said it's the best of the franchise. Who knows if he's being hyperbolic because he's he's just trying to promote a movie.
Yeah, he's hyping up his own movie.
But it looks awesome. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, the trailer looked great. The reason I didn't put it on my list is because I didn't see the last one. So it's I feel like a hypocrite picking this one.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so there's a lot of movies to be excited about this year.
Absolutely.
And many more that aren't even on our radar, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, there isn't any coming out this week.
Next, of the list.
So opening this week, we have 2 movies. One of them is Den of Thieves 2, which if you haven't seen the show, you're probably not going to understand my resentment. And then a movie that, looks like it could be a good one. The Last Showgirl, with Pamela Anderson, directed by Gia Coppola. These are the 2 movies that are opening.
Yes.
Which one are you excited about? Or if any?
I'm excited about Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. I have not seen the first one, but it's an action movie that actually looks halfway decent. Doesn't look like it's just thrown together. There looks to be a little bit of thought with the stunts and action. Yeah, it's not okay. Don't give me that look. It's not like that other action movie we were talking about earlier, the Josh Hartnett one. All right.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more care with this one. Don't. I'm not saying this is
Whatever
going to
you
be like the next James Bond, all right? But it looks like a good, fun action popcorn movie.
It looks like a popcorn movie.
You go watch The Last Showgirl. I'll go watch Den of Thieves.
It looks like I can just cover my face with popcorn, so I don't have to watch this.
You can go watch The Last Showgirl while I go watch this, all right? You can go watch Pamela Anderson. It's the last stripper in Vegas.
So yeah, those are the 2 movies that are coming out. Honestly, I think I'm going to catch up on a movie that I haven't seen.
Okay.
Which I still have not seen, The Brutalist.
All right, yeah.
What other movies are out?
Brutalist. I still need to catch up on Anora. Baby Girl's another movie that's out there right now.
Oh yeah, Baby Girl.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I'm going to spend my weekend.
All right.
What about you?
I'd like to see The Brutalist too. So let me know if you want to go see that at some point.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
and Den of Thieves 2 for you.
Yeah, Den of Thieves 2. I'll have the out of theater reaction to that one.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
All right. So that'll do it for today's installment.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week. And we'll be here talking about more movies. Bye.